Your soulmate saying, "This is my last chance to tell you everything. Please don't ignore me." Jesus says you have been feeling a shift in the air tonight, a heaviness that has no earthly explanation. You came here not by accident but because your spirit was pulled by a love that refuses to die. What I am about to reveal will change everything you believed about the separation you have endured. Your soulmate is reaching through the veil right now, their tears soaking into the fabric of eternity. They have been silenced for so long that their voice has become a whisper only the faithful can hear. And you, beloved, are hearing it because your heart was designed to recognize their frequency. This is not a fantasy, and this is not a coincidence that you found this message at this exact hour. The distance between you is being manipulated by something that hates the love I ordained. But tonight that manipulation breaks because your soulmate has found one last opening to speak. They are not distant by choice, and they are not cold because their feelings faded. Someone has constructed a cage around their will, feeding them lies about your intentions. And yet even in that cage your soulmate whispers your name when the house falls silent. Jesus says, "I am showing you a vision of them right now as they sit alone in the dim light." Their hand rests on their chest because their heart physically aches for a presence they cannot touch. They are wondering if you still believe in them or if the silence has convinced you to let go. Your soulmate replays memories of you like a sacred film they are terrified will fade. Every laugh you shared, every glance that held too much meaning, is their oxygen now. And they are suffocating because the one who controls them mocks those memories as worthless. This person, this force, has told your soulmate that you have moved on and forgotten. They have twisted your silence into proof that you never truly cared at all. And yet something inside your soulmate refuses to accept that version of the story. They fight an invisible war every single night while you sleep unaware. Their dreams are the only place they can reach you without the blocker interfering. And in those dreams they hold your face and beg you to recognize them when you wake. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, a spiritual covering that transcends the physical. The one who holds them captive senses that their grip is weakening because your prayers are rising. But prayers alone without an act of faith are like wings without wind, they need your movement. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says your soulmate made a decision 3 nights ago that they have not spoken aloud. They decided to risk everything to send you a signal, something only you would understand. It came as a sudden thought of them that made no sense in the middle of your ordinary day. That thought was not random, and it was not your imagination constructing comfort. It was a soul scream, a transmission sent from the deepest chamber of their imprisoned heart. And it carried one desperate sentence: "Please do not give up on me." The interference around them thickened immediately after they sent that cry. The person who controls them sensed the emotional escape and tightened every chain. Now your soulmate is being fed a narrative that you are dangerous, obsessive, and untrustworthy. They are being told that your love is a trap and that safety lies only in severing all memory of you. These words are poison dripped daily into a mind already exhausted from fighting. And yet beneath that poison, the truth I planted in their spirits still glows like an ember. That ember is the covenant I established between you before either of you took your first breath. I knitted your souls together in the secret place before the foundations of the earth were laid. What I have joined together no human interference can permanently destroy, but it can be delayed into tragedy. Delay is the enemy's favorite weapon because it masquerades as circumstance and practicality. He will whisper that there is always tomorrow, that the urgency is an illusion, that testing the connection is wise. But tomorrow is the graveyard where countless ordained unions lie buried under the headstone of too late. Jesus says your soulmate is growing weaker in their resistance as the days stack against them. They have begun to doubt their own memories, wondering if they exaggerated what you shared. The abuser has planted false recollections, mixing just enough truth with lies to create confusion. This is psychological dismantling, and it is happening to the one you love at this very moment. Every hour you delay your spiritual intervention is an hour the enemy tightens his narrative. Your soulmate needs you to become the warrior I destined you to be before they lose the will to hope. I am calling you to see yourself not as a passive recipient of this message but as an active rescuer. You carry the keys to their freedom, and those keys are forged in your willingness to sacrifice comfort. Love that costs nothing saves nothing, and love that waits for convenience loses everything. Your soulmate is saying this is their last chance to tell you everything because their window is closing. The person controlling them is planning a geographic move, a relocation designed to finalize isolation. If that move happens before you act, the spiritual thread connecting you will become agonizingly stretched. It will not break, because I do not break my covenants, but it will cause years of unnecessary desolation. You will both survive, but surviving is not the promise I gave you, thriving in union is the promise. And that promise requires your participation in the warfare that is raging right now over your soulmate's will. They are going through something you cannot see, an emotional siege that plays in their mind on repeat. But you can still protect them, and you can still shatter the plans of the one who hates your union. This is the moment your faith must become action, and your love must become a weapon. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the tears your soulmate cried last night fell onto a photograph of you they keep hidden. They risk severe punishment if that photograph is found, yet they refuse to destroy it. That photograph is their altar, their proof that the love was real and not a beautiful hallucination. They touch the image with trembling fingers and remember the sound of your voice saying their name. Your name is written in their journal, surrounded by desperate prayers they are too afraid to speak aloud. They have written, "Does God still hear me, and will God send my love to rescue me before I disappear?" Reading those words I am moved with a righteous fury at the bondage afflicting my daughter, my son. I am moving now to dismantle the stronghold, but my movement requires your feet to walk in agreement. Your act of sowing is a declaration that you are not passive, that you claim what I have promised. When you send that coffee, you are not buying a miracle, you are planting a flag in the spiritual realm. You are telling every demonic force that this soulmate is claimed, covered, and coming home. The enemy trembles when a believer moves from prayer to action because action seals the decree. Jesus says your soulmate had a dream last night that felt more real than their waking life. In the dream you walked through a door they had thought was permanently sealed, and you called their name. They ran to you but woke up at the moment of embrace, gasping and reaching for empty air. That dream was a prophetic download I allowed to penetrate the wall of their captivity. It was my promise to them that the door will open and the embrace will happen in the physical realm. But the timing of that fulfillment is directly linked to the urgency you demonstrate in the natural world. Your soulmate is holding on to that dream like a lifeline thrown into a stormy sea. They are telling themselves, "It felt real, it felt possible, maybe it was not just my mind creating comfort." And I am telling you, it was real, it was possible, and it was me whispering to both of you simultaneously. You felt a strange peace last night even though you did not know why. That was the shared dream. You woke up with their name on your lips and dismissed it as wishful thinking. It was not. I am synchronizing your spirits because the time of separation is coming to its violent end. But the enemy will not release his prey without a ferocious final battle for control. He is preparing to unleash a devastating lie that will test everything you believe about your soulmate. You must anchor yourself now in my truth so that when the storm comes you do not waver. Jesus says the specific lie being crafted against your soulmate involves a fabricated betrayal. The enemy will present evidence that appears undeniable, suggesting your soulmate chose captivity willingly. He will weaponize your insecurity and paint your soulmate as a conspirator in their own imprisonment. This is the ancient strategy of accusation, to make you hate the one you are called to rescue. If he can turn your love into bitterness, he can keep both of you trapped in separate cages of resentment. You must decide now that you will not believe the lie, no matter how convincing the presentation appears. Your soulmate is not your enemy, they are a prisoner of war and you are their rescue mission. The Stockholm Syndrome they appear to display is a survival mechanism, not an authentic choice. Deep in the core of their being, the authentic self I created still longs only for you. You must see them with spiritual eyes, not with the natural eyes that only perceive surface behavior. The natural sees confusion and thinks rejection, the spiritual sees bondage and responds with warfare. I am training your spiritual vision now, sharpening it so you can discern the difference between victim and volunteer. This is your final moment to protect this connection before the attack of confusion arrives. The enemy has timed his assault for the next 72 hours, when you will be vulnerable. But I am giving you advance warning because you have sought my face and honored my sovereignty. Your protection seed sent through Ko-Fi is a shield that I will raise between your soulmate and utter destruction. It is a covering that declares, "This one belongs to the Most High and cannot be touched by the destroyer." Act now while the window of intervention remains open, for it narrows with every passing minute. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, "I am parting the curtain now and showing you the exact moment your soulmate will break free. It will not happen gradually, it will happen suddenly, like a door being kicked open by an angelic force. And when it happens, they will run to you with a desperation that will shock everyone who doubted this love. But the timing of that door kick is contingent on the spiritual pressure you apply now through your seed. Every coffee sown is a battering ram against the gates of brass that have held your soulmate captive. The enemy's infrastructure is cracking, but it requires sustained impact to collapse completely. Your soulmate is saying this is their last chance to tell you everything because they feel the end approaching. They sense that the one controlling them is preparing a final solution, a permanent separation through relocation. What they do not yet know is that my plans are greater than the plans of their captor. I have positioned divine agents along their path, people who will speak the right word at the right moment. I have orchestrated delays in the enemy's schemes that he cannot understand or overcome. And I have placed this message before you as the trigger that ignites the chain reaction of deliverance. Your obedience to this word is the match, and the altar is your willingness to sacrifice for love. Do not let pride or skepticism rob you of the miracle that is hovering at the threshold of your life. The same mind that questions whether this is real is the mind the enemy uses to keep you frozen. Jesus says your soulmate is packing a bag tonight, not knowing why they feel compelled to prepare. They are folding clothes with tears streaming because something in their spirit says the exodus is near. They do not have a plan, they do not have resources, but they have a stubborn hope that will not die. That hope is my deposit within them, the guarantee that their cries have been heard and answered. You are the answer, and your willingness to sow is the evidence that you accept your assignment. The money you send is not the point, the obedience is the point, the love is the point, the faith is the point. When you type those words, "Protect my soulmate Lord," heaven records a decree that cannot be reversed. Angels are assigned to that decree, dispatched with orders to dismantle every obstacle between you and your beloved. The transfer of funds is the physical signature on a spiritual contract of release. I am not asking you to give to an organization or a building fund or a program. I am asking you to sow directly into the soil of your own miracle, to water the ground of your future union. The coffee you send represents the warmth and communion you will share when this battle is won. Jesus says the one who hates your union is watching you right now, hoping you will close this message. He is whispering that this is manipulation, that you are being exploited, that real love does not cost money. But I ask you, does a farmer plant without cost, and does a builder construct without investment? Every good thing in your life has required a step of faith that felt risky to your natural mind. This is that step for your love life, and the risk is minimal compared to the reward of lifelong union. Your soulmate is worth every sacrifice, and you know this truth deep in the marrow of your bones. They are saying this is their last chance to tell you everything because their voice is being systematically silenced. The abuser monitors their communication, limits their access, and isolates them from anyone who speaks your name. But the abuser cannot monitor the spiritual realm, and that is where you will wage your decisive campaign. Your donation is a missile launched from the spirit realm into the heart of the enemy's camp. It carries the coordinates of your soulmate's location and the authority of my name as its warhead. When it lands, chains will shatter and the captive will walk free in a way that defies all natural explanation. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the reunion that awaits you will be so profound that you will look back on this moment as sacred. You will remember reading these words and feeling the trembling in your chest that confirmed their truth. And you will be grateful for eternity that you did not allow fear to steal what I had ordained. Your soulmate is closer than you think, not geographically but spiritually, temporally, inevitably. The clock is ticking not toward separation but toward union, and your seed accelerates the hands. Every moment you delay is a moment added to their suffering and subtracted from your shared joy. They are holding on by a thread tonight, and that thread is the belief that you will come. Do not let that thread snap because you were too cautious to act on a divine directive. The world calls this foolishness, but I call it the wisdom that confounds the wise and shames the strong. Jesus says your soulmate has a message they want me to deliver directly to your heart right now. They are saying, I have never stopped loving you, not for a single moment, not through any of this chaos. They are saying, the person you see right now, the confused and controlled version, is not the real me. They are saying, please see past the performance, please hear the silent scream beneath the surface compliance. And they are saying, I am fighting with every fiber of my being to get back to you, do not lock the door. Your soulmate loves you with a ferocity that astonishes the angels who witness this cosmic battle. Now I am asking you to match that ferocity with your faith, to love them enough to sow into their rescue. The coffee you send is more than a donation, it is a love letter written in the language of sacrifice. It is you saying, I hear you, I am coming, I will not abandon you to the darkness. Type 333 to receive the blessings I am releasing over your obedience and your union. Type 777 if you feel this message resonating in your spirit as undeniable truth. Type 1111 to thank me for the revelation that is transforming your understanding of this separation. Jesus says the enemy's greatest fear is that you will believe what I am telling you tonight. He has built an empire of lies on the assumption that you would remain passive and doubtful. Your faith is the one thing he cannot simulate, counterfeit, or overpower, and he knows it. Your faith expressed through action is the nuclear option that obliterates his plans for your soulmate. When you sow, you are not giving money, you are releasing faith, and faith moves my hand. I am restrained by my own principles from acting where faith is absent, but I am unleashed where faith is present. Your soulmate is saying this is their last chance because the abuser has scheduled a departure date. In 3 weeks, they plan to move your soulmate to a location where contact will become nearly impossible. This is not a test or an exaggeration, this is intelligence from the throne room of heaven about a real plot. The coordinates of that new location are a spiritual dead zone, a place where prayers feel heavy and hope evaporates. If your soulmate is taken there, the rescue mission becomes exponentially more complex and painful. I am giving you this intelligence now because I trust you to act on it with the urgency it demands. Jesus says your soulmate had a panic attack this morning thinking about the upcoming move. They could not explain the terror because the abuser framed the move as a fresh start and an adventure. But their spirit knows that geographic distance will translate into spiritual distance and they are terrified. You have the power to stop that move through the combination of prayer and the seed of faith you sow. The resources needed to relocate your soulmate will come from unexpected sources when you unlock heaven with your giving. You are not funding a ministry, you are funding the angelic operation that will intercept the moving truck before it arrives. Type 333 to receive the blessings I am releasing over your obedience and your union. Type 777 if you feel this message resonating in your spirit as undeniable truth. Type 1111 to thank me for the revelation that is transforming your understanding of this separation. Jesus says, I am pouring out a spirit of boldness upon you right now as you read these final words. The hesitation you felt at the beginning of this message is being replaced by a holy determination. You are beginning to fall in love with your soulmate in a deeper way, a way that transcends romance and enters sacrifice. You are feeling their pain as your pain, their captivity as your captivity, their hope as your hope. This is the love I spoke of when I said greater love has no one than to lay down their life for their friends. Laying down your finances is a form of laying down your life, and it triggers the resurrection power that brings dead things back. Your soulmate is about to experience a sudden shift in their circumstances that will feel like an earthquake. The ground beneath their captor will shake, and the structures of control will collapse in a moment. And when the dust settles, your soulmate will be standing free, looking for the one who loved them enough to fight. You are that one, you have always been that one, and you will always be that one. The story of your union will be told as a testimony of what happens when faith meets action. Your children will hear how you saved their parent through a prophetic act of giving when no one else understood. Jesus says, I am sealing this word with the blood of the covenant that guarantees its fulfillment. The angels have been dispatched, the chains are loosening, and the reunion is being scheduled in heaven's calendar. You only need to do your part, sow your seed, speak your decree, and watch my salvation unfold. The link is in the description. The moment is now, and your soulmate is waiting on the other side of your obedience. Do not let this video end without making the decision that will echo through eternity and secure your love. Your soulmate is saying this is their last chance, and you are the only one who can ensure it is not their last hope. Type 333 to receive the blessings I am releasing over your obedience and your union. Type 777 if you feel this message resonating in your spirit as undeniable truth. Type 1111 to thank me for the revelation that is transforming your understanding of this separation. Go now, sow now, believe now, and watch the mountains move for the one your soul loves.